3 and a 2 and 1. Bing, we're live. It's the Kent Beck Scrum. It's Sam and Ben. And what is going on? I've just done the Autograder Beta Snarser meeting. We've got a new instructor there. That was nice. And yeah, I reflect that, for all of the many client meetings, I have absolutely no spare time to do development for the Autograders. Maybe one day. Yeah, it's such a tricky project to get people involved in.
Why is that?
I think it's partly it's a sort of a legacy structure. It's not a kind of traditional MVC setup, and so it just it's like the core of it is this kind of custom code that a load of Berkeley TAs wrote, and then I kind of pulled together a bit, and then another set of Berkeley TAs had a big go at refactoring it, and it's quite complicated to make head or tail of, and it's very difficult to do acceptance testing. And yes, it's
very difficult to do acceptance testing. That's what I'm struggling with too.
Yeah, well, I mean, and acceptance testing at the best of times with just an MVC app and JavaScript is tough. I mean, this system isn't got any JavaScript in it, but it's
is it all Ruby?
It's all Ruby. But what it's particularly got is it's got this whole framework to kind of run the student's code in a separate sandbox, and so it starts these separate threads and all this sort of stuff that just make things another layer of complex. And it's all written by all of the main writing has been done by people who aren't experienced Ruby developers. They've they're smart folks from UC Berkeley, but they've done Java and then they've switched to Ruby and
students then, not professional engineers yet.
Yeah. So it's kind of, and it suffers from that in various ways, I think. But yes, so that's we continue to use the graders. One day, something may come up. Well, the same criticism could be leveled at all of the projects that I'm nominally running, in that I'm just spreading myself too thin, and it's fine to run a number of projects. Then it depends on the number of people involved in those projects and whether that's a sensible division of labor. But yes, so lunchtime, I made some further progress on the deep learning stuff. I've now got some validation. I'm tuning hyperparameters, and that's kind of working, although it feels like one could spend a long time searching the space of hyperparameters to try and find the best solution, but I'm not. I don't know. I've got so much time to spend on it.
Right.
And then before that, what happened? We tried to have the Elixir mob, but there was only me, so I got on with some other stuff.
That was today.
That was today. Yeah,
I didn't get up in time.
No, well, I think it is Monday is maybe the graveyard of things. In that it's I think arranging things that are early on a Monday is a good way of, unfortunately, meaning that they don't necessarily happen. So we'll need to have a chat about.
Is this going through that Mango? That's the
yeah.
Oh. I had intended on doing it, but I didn't remember definitively whether or not it was then. It's kind of I'll try next week if other people are willing to.
Yeah. I mean, Federico was there last week, and we did a little bit more. Yeah. So I mean, it's one of those things. I think if things are early on a Monday, then reminders need to be sent on Friday. I mean, I do that for a lot of other meetings. But so instead of that, I did a little bit of work updating data model on website 1, and actually rebooting my computer. And even having rebooted my computer, RubyMine was still super slow. It makes me think if I should install the latest edition of RubyMine. But yeah, I'm not really blocked on anything apart from just not getting all the things done that I want to get done. But no technical blocks. And we've got the website 1 meeting coming up, and then the Out-of-Register community meeting where we're going to do a new thing and sort of award a weekly contributor award for the most contributory person in Adventures. So that should be fun. And that is that's me. How are things going with you, Ben?
Well, I have to say I am a bit blocked on the website 1 thing, and it's related to acceptance testing. I don't know if you had a chance to look at my latest commits in that the work in progress PR that I have going on with the I'm just still sort of stuck on step 1, which I don't know how foolish it is to be sort of hammering away at that. But the idea is, but I want to make sure that I get the best possible solution, because I'm sort of seeing this stuff for the first time. The idea is that, you know, I'm trying to test the functionality of that JavaScript widget that does the countdown in real time.
Yes.
And the idea is you have to mock time in Ruby and JavaScript at the same time.
Yes.
Sort of sync those time mocks between the two servers, which are, of course, running in different processes when you're talking about using Capybara. And if I understand correctly.
That sounds all right, yeah.
So the idea is, the tricky thing is, it's this kind of catch-22 thing where if you set the time for the in Ruby before you load the page, after you load the page, then it doesn't recognize that, because once you've loaded the page, it doesn't look at the time anymore. It assumes that it already knows.
Right.
I think. And if you set the JavaScript before you load the page, then it'll reset it when you load the page, because it's window by, you know, it recreates the entire environment in terms of JavaScript every time a new window variable is created, which happens when you create a new page. So you can't set the time for both at the same time. This is what I've discovered. Or you have to set the JavaScript time before you load, after you load the window, and you have to set the Ruby time before you load the window. So it really, I mean, the problem is, and I think you sort of mentioned this problem, is that you have to put the time mocking code inside the app itself.
Yes.
And then do the test. And then a lot of the ways that people have done that I've sort of searched online, including the one that you showed me, did that, where it put something actually in the app that tested whether or not testing was happening, whether or not time was being mocked, and if so, got the mock time from the Ruby system, from the Rails system, and then set it in the JavaScript. So right now I've got it in a really bad place. I think because it's actually in one of the web templates in the app, because I couldn't. I had trouble even making the JavaScript asset integration area that one you sent. I couldn't even make that work, because it seems like it was difficult to edit the configuration such that the caching wouldn't happen for those things when testing happened. And I tried a few different things, and it just didn't. It didn't happen. So the question is, I mean, it probably shouldn't be there, like in the web template, in the actual HTML. That's a terrible place for it. But I couldn't. I mean, is there a simple place to look for to determine how caching behaves? Because it seems like there's one setting for the entire app in that where you can turn off caching completely, but it seems like it's already turned off. That can't be it.
And you're thinking that the templates might be being cached, and that's potentially causing a problem.
Well, not the templates. The templates seem not to be, but the JavaScript assets.
Oh, okay.
Are not reloaded. The idea is I want to make sure to only put this code that mocks the JavaScript time in JavaScript code that I'm sure is going to be reloaded every time the pages are reloaded.
Right.
Which seems to be only the case for the templates themselves, which aren't JavaScript, and you have to put script tags in there.
So a complex setup. Anything else on your mind at the moment?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I've also made progress on the gradient descent stuff.
Yep.
So I've got through. I sort of recreated what we did in the mob without looking at it successfully, and then move forward to sort of halfway through, I think, doing the gradient descent thing. So hopefully I'll be where you guys are by the time the mob happens again, at least in terms of tuning parameters. Anything else? Cool. I don't think so.
Cool. Yeah, all the good stuff. That reminds me. On the Claronauts thing on Thursday, I think we worked out a solution, and we now have the sort of presence tracking thing working.
Okay. Was that is that documented somewhere? I'll take a look.
It's committed to the repo, and
all right, I'll take a look.
I think my suggestion as a solution is in the Claronauts channel. I paired with Ryder and on Friday, In retrospect, I thought, oh yes, I should have told Ben about that. But yeah, I'm going to be proposing to pair this Friday with Ryder, because the following Friday I'm not going to be free.
I see.
Anyway, yeah. Well, so the whole cucumber scenario thing. Yeah, I think we should definitely get into that. But I think the sensible place to do that is probably in the website one meeting, which is just coming up. Yeah, I'm just trying to encourage one particular person to see if they might come into the Scrum, but I think they probably won't now, and it's a bit late. So yeah, I guess I will get the weekly. I'll see you in the website one meeting.
Yep.
Good stuff.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Nice one. Bye for now.